Good evening, everyone. Thank you for waiting us. Welcome back to the MBS workshop after 3 days. Can you guys hear me? I think it's good enough. Thank you. I hope you all are doing well and rest enough during the holidays. I'm Nettie, the Marketing and Promotion Team Director from IABMS. I will be the MC again for the day. And also welcome Michael and Gabriel to share the game result and give us further information and for the technical control. Without further ado, let's begin with today's workshop. This is the rundown for today. And the first thing we're going to do is revising our last workshop. For those who didn't join our last workshop, we assume you have watched the recording and it is easier for you to catch up on today's section. After that, we will provide you all with four more decision, add up the last 4 decision. So today you're going to make X decision, and this is so-called level 2 MBS game. Then we will have practice section for 3 rounds. Make sure that you know what to do in level 2 game, and at the end we will follow by the announcement time and to give you some reminder. So let's start for today. Last workshop, we spent time in talking about the potential demand and its importance. Actually, like the real life cases, you need to understand that many factors are affecting the potential demand, like marketing expense, economic environments, means the macro economy here, price and inventory. What you have to do is to increasing the potential demand while gaining profit. If you got a higher potential demand than your competitors, you need to think about how to allocate your finished goods and make sure not generate the urgent purchase or other expenses. And at the end, you need to minimize the cost as low as you can. For slide number 5, here has pointed out the potential demand is literally equal to your sales volume. And then 30% of the unfilled demand will turn to lost sales, and 70% of unfilled demand will give it to your competitors. So to fulfilling the potential demand is very important, but more important that you may understand how to fulfill the potential demand. For example, do you purchase enough raw materials? Did you guys remember last time we showed you examples that someone said the unit cost, the price is lower than their unit cost. So even though they have a higher potential demand than their competitors, they cannot gain profit. And do you allocate your products in a correct way? In slide number 6, about the materials conversion rate, sounds a bit complicated. And can someone tell me what it is if you have watched the recording or you have joined our last section workshop? Do you remember what the materials conversion rate is? You can just type in box or you can open your mic to speak. Yes, thank you. I saw a response in the chat box. Okay, sometimes you may found that your the raw materials amount are same as the previous one, but the finished good amount are not the same because of your materials conversion rate is not the same, and maybe the cost of producing is higher, so that when the material conversion rate change, your finished good amount will change too. And slide number 7, I think this slide is the summary for level 1 MBS game and the conclusion about our last workshop. You may consider the R&D expense, marketing expense, raw material procurement, and price. Having a good balance of price, quality, and image is very important for the level 1 MBS game. And we will turn to slide number 8. For today, we are going to run the level 2 game for 3 rounds. And for level 2 game, there are total 8 decisions, which I mentioned previously, and we are going to submit 8 decisions. And today, we will go through the other 4 decisions and play the game directly. So you guys may need to input 8 decisions for every round, and every round will give you guys 8 minutes. For the first decision we add is about the maintenance expense. Just like the real estate business, machine and equipment may have depreciation rate, and after you start running the business, they will start to depreciate. So the efficiencies of your production may decrease. If you invest in maintenance expense, you can use less raw materials to produce 1 unit of finished good, which at the end benefit the production efficiency, and hence you can lower the cost of material consumption. But you may need to aware that the maintenance expense will not affect the potential demand and only affect the speed of depreciation. And here, one more information that you may need to understand is the next production capacity. It actually shows you the maximum amounts that you are affordable and capable to produce in one shift, which is 8 hours in one shift, and it will decrease because of the depreciation of equipment. So if you want to maintain a high next production capacity, you may need to invest in your maintenance expense. For materials consumption, it is actually the cost of raw material you use in production, and you may check this information under the income statement. However, we would like to remind you all that storing the finished good is very expensive. Like you need to pay the rent, and your product may expire if you keep it in a long time. So you should think about that how many raw materials you want to store, and every time how many finished good you want to make, because storing the finished good is very expensive. Another decision we add in level 2 is the equipment investment. Sorry. You can invest the equipment and acquire new equipment which the efficiency of production capacity and miscellaneous expense may enhance. You can imagine that every dollars you put into equipment investment, your maximum production capacity will increase by 1 unit. But of course, $20 is not the accurate amount for everyone for every round, since it affected by the inflation rate and the price index. So if you want the accurate amount that how many equipment investment expense you put can produce 1 more unit, you need to check the inflation rate and price index every round, because every round may not be the same. For the miscellaneous expense, it includes the shipping expense, insurance expense, and other relevant expense. But this part is not very important and a bit minor. If you want like further information, we will send the handbook in group later on. For the final decision we add in level 2 is dividend, and it is actually a form of distribution of companies' earning to investor. And I know many of you are studying in finance and accounting. I think you guys may know this very much, and it's very helpful in finding more investor, right? So the net present value is affected and related to the dividend. When your equity is over or equal to 65 millions, you can start to distributing the dividend. And about the net present value, it is actually the most significant element to determine your company is running good or not. If your team can issue the dividend earlier, your NPV will be larger. And here is the formula. And I think it is a bit complicated. If you have further question, you can watch the read the handbook later. And I think if you are able to calculate it through maybe Excel form or other formula, I suggest you to spend time on it. And for loans, there is actually two types of loan. One called overdrive and one is bank loan. For the major difference between overdrive and loans are the interest rate and who take the initiative to lend or borrow money. For overdrive, it means when your company do not have enough cash for operation, or you need to have the urgent purchase of raw materials, then the bank will take the initiative and automatically lend money to you in level 1 in level 2 game. Level 1 in level 2 game is what we are playing. And for bank loan, it is the any overdrive from the previous round will automate become the new bank loan in the following rounds. If you didn't finish your overdrive then it will convert to bank loans. And actually the overdrive interest will be inquired in next round too. For overdrive, the interest rate is higher, and for bank loan, the interest rate is lower. Yes, here is the formula shows of the loan interest. You can see that the annual interest rate for overdrive maximum is 30%, and for bank loan interest expense is maximum 20%. So we suggest you or to borrow money from bank in the beginning instead of let the bank automatically lend you money, because the overdrive interest rate is much costly than the bank loan. So we have shared so many informations, and I hope you all can know more about the level 2 game. And remember, you need to input total X decision in the practice game. So in the following section, I will let Michael to announce the start of the practice game, and we will if you cannot log in or you are not you don't know your company ID or password, you can just tell us now.
Please let me know if you still have any problem. If not, we'll start the game now. And Nettie, so is that 8 minutes? Okay, so game start now. We'll be back in 8 minutes. So please submit your first round decision before you can start now. Sorry, Nettie. Okay. You can team, please submit your decision in 8 minutes from now, and we'll see the results after your decision is given. Thank you. Okay, teams. So time's up. Now we can see the results together. Please let me know if you cannot see my screen. Okay, so let's see in the group A first. Okay, I see most of you have submitted report except for a team called YT. I think YT is the new assigned team name. So YT, are you ready to submit? Okay, if not, we'll disable your qualification for the rest of the round. Please let me know. YT. Okay, so I think you are not there. So it's okay. So we'll go ahead. Okay, in the group A, we have around more than 15 teams, I think. So let's see what's the result with such a high competitive market. Okay, this one is the level 2. Okay, the beginning of the level 2. So let's see any team can make profit. We can see four teams in out of 18 teams can make net profit, which is 98. I'm not sure which team name you are. A1 and the other team is Champion Titans. Titans, I remember, is the Vietnam teams. Welcome back. You are the finalists in the competition last year. So good to see you again. So and followed by BCT Edge Solution Ventura. So in terms of the dividends, you can see the team called, sorry, I have problem to pronounce your name. I don't want to pronounce wrong, but anyway, your team make a highest profited dividends out of the among the team, which has 150,000, and followed by the Edge, which you have 25,000. I know Edge is from CTU. So in terms of the revenue, the highest revenue is the Ventura. Okay, Ventura, but I just found another team is even higher, which is A1. Okay, A1 has highest revenue, and they are the second highest in terms of the net profit. 98 has a slightly lower revenue, but they got the highest net profit. In another word, means 98 has better profit margin rather than A1. But these two teams are doing quite good. Champion, their sales is also very good. Okay, 3.1 million revenue, and also their net profit is also quite good. Okay, 198,000, which is ranked at number 3. Okay, so this is the best 3 result in Group A. Okay, now take a look on Group B first. Okay, Group B. How many teams in Group B? 12 teams. Okay, in Group B, the highest net profit, it seems to me, is even higher than the highest team in Group A. XTCO2, they make 411,000 net profit. Maybe this group, the market has less team in the market. It means it's less competitive than the Group A. The revenue is the highest. Okay, very outstanding, 4.2 million. And the second team is Iconic. The sales is close to 3 million, and they also have almost 10% profit margin. 300,000 and 304,000, which is the net profit. Big Prime also has 249,000. XTC03 is very tight, 221,000 as well. And another team is very tight, which is the Excelsius. They have 230,000. When at number 3. Okay, so this 5 team is relatively better. And the lowest team is the Amigas. Okay, Amigas got close to 800,000 net lost profits. Okay, lost profits. So maybe we try to take a look on one team because time is tight. So we'll try to take a look on one team first and see what's going on with this team. The result they have. So maybe we can tear down the result of the Amigas. Okay, so Amigas, so hopefully you don't mind I tear down the result your team. So first of all, let's take a look you can see the revenue is down quite dramatically, minus 74%. Okay, if you're running a company, your revenue down by 74%, definitely your boss will talk to you why your sales got so big problem. And now we can take a look on this your business profile. Your business profile tell me your potential demand, your customer actually have 572,328 that they would like to buy the chocolate from your chocolate shop. However, you only have 131,000 units for sales. Okay, and and now we can take a look why you have only 131,000 for sales. If you want to know what's going on, then the most easy way is that you can come to the production logistic. The in the round zero, every team has been given with 51,000 finished goods inventory. Okay, this is the fundamental, the so-called the capital or the raw material that you have. No, not the raw material, the inventory that you have. Okay, 51,000, and you make the decision for the first round. Okay, with 80,000 of the chocolate produced. Okay, this is your decision. So for the maximum available for sales unit equal to 80,000 plus 51,000, that is 131,000. Okay, very easy. This number plus this number, inventory plus new product allocation or new product request is the total amount of the sales volume, okay, available for sales volume. So it is 138,000. Back to the last figure, 181,000, that is correct. Okay, so first of all, you understand you have got a big sales in here, a big sales. Okay, you miss a big sales. If you can meet the potential demand, you definitely your result will be much better than now. But it is now the major issue you have is your planning is not good enough to meet the potential demand in the market. Okay, this is a major problem. Of course, if you want to tear down further, we will have a lot of information to you. For the rest of the information, I'm not going to go through one by one. But I would recommend you come to the cost structure to take a look of this part. Okay, and try to compare to the round zero and see which area you got the big problem. Okay, so so I want you guys to continue the round two first, and if we got time, we can debrief more teams' results together. So I want to control the time for the game shop, the workshop today. So guys, maybe times to go for the round two. So Nettie, I would like to have 10 minutes for the round two, that the team can take a look all the information and make their business decision. If you have any question, we can come back later after the workshop. I mean, after the end of the workshop today. Okay. So the round two, the level, the time start now. So please submit your decision by on time. Thank you. Okay, maybe we take a look on the group A first. Okay, let group B to rejoin the game and make the decision as soon as you're possible. Okay, we can see very good. All your team has been submitted the result. So let's see what is the financial results of the round two together. Okay, now here we go. In round two, wow, at least we can see more team can make net profits comparing to the first round. So Edge from CTU, they got 252,000 net profits. The sales is 2.9 million, which is almost the second highest or the third highest. The first highest is a solution. They have 3.19, almost 3.2 million. Okay, you can see one thing is very interesting. Think about if the reality, if this team make 3.2 million sales, okay, the revenue, okay, from the market, And what's happened is the other team called Ventura, they also make 3.2 million sales, okay, which is very close from each other. So in terms of the sales number, I mean the number of units sold, 456,000 versus 491,000, which is maybe this team is 10% less, okay. But however, you can see the net profit is dramatically different. The Ventura lose 420,000 in this quarter, okay, in here. And the other team, which have the same revenue solution, they have 182,000 net profit, okay, in the balance in the spreadsheet. So think about why there's two significant difference among these two teams with the same revenue. Okay, so please take a look by yourself. Okay, now we can try to take a look on Group B first before we going to give you some tips on after the Group 2. Group 2, okay, I see BCTO2. You just log into the system without any problem. So may I have your submission as soon as possible so that we can see the results together. Actually, XTC, this team has been resumed as well. Okay, BCT, please submit your decision in order you can see the results as the soonest. Okay, BCT submit the results. Thank you. So now we can see the, so before I disqualify the team again, please let me know if any team from Group B hasn't submitted the results. Let me take a look. I think XTC is the one I just resumed, so I can forget this one. I think this is done. So now we can see the results. Okay, should be 13 team in this market for Group B. Oh, sorry, 15 teams, not 13, 15 teams. Okay, so now let's take a look on the results. Big Prime got to 50,000 net profits, close to 50,000, which is pretty good. Excelsius to 13,000. XTCO2 170,000. BCTO2, the one we just let them back, they make 54,000. And the other team, Iconic, they have almost the same result as the BCTO2. Okay, so this is the net profit ranking. And if they take a look on the revenue ranking, the highest team is XTCO2. Okay, the net profit, the ranking, the revenue is the highest. But I think probably because of the fact that their net profit margin is lower than the other team like Big Prime or the BCTO or the other team, which is the Excelsius. So that even though their revenue is the highest, their net profit ranking is ranked as number 3 or 4. Okay, so the other team, Big Prime, the sales is number 2, revenue is number 2. Sales is number 1. Net profit is number 1 as well. So Big Prime, good job for you on this game. Okay, so maybe we can take a look on one team and see what's wrong with this team in the result in the spreadsheet. So maybe we take a look on BCTO3. We don't choose the lowest one, we choose the one somewhat below the average, BCTO3. Okay, again, they have the same problem as the team that we shared the results before, Amicus. Okay, we share this. They have the same problem, but it's less serious. You can see from here. Okay, and they and if you take a look on their sales status, this team BCTO03. Okay, their selling price is 6.2. which is almost one of the lowest team in the market. Okay, and in reality, their product image, that means the marketing is not the highest, it's just average, but the R&D side is somewhat below average. Okay, in a way that they did not market their product in the sorry, they did not market their product in the brand position in the premium brand. Okay, they want to have a high sales through in the market in order to create the revenue. Okay, so that means the lower price and they aim for higher demand. Okay, it seems to me that, and they're not going to put too much money on the R&D or even the marketing, it seems to me. But I think one of the issue that they have is that, as I just mentioned to you, their production volume is not good enough to meet the potential demand. This is the one of the issue that they have. And the other one is you can take a look on the cost structure rise. So obviously I can see the management and finance expense is 1.58. Sorry, give me a second. Sorry, give me a second. I make a big mistake. Sorry, give me a second. We just see the result of the first round only. Now I need to see the result on the second round. Sorry again. So now we can submit the decision for the second round. BCT002, can you submit your decision? Oh, sorry, guys. Because we just roll back the game from round one, okay, from round one. So so that the BCT002 can make the decision, okay, and the result just now is to refresh the market situation based on the BCT002 is add into the market. Okay, BCT002, may I have your decision submission, please? Okay, good, thank you. Okay, so now is the time that we see the actual result of the round two. Okay, sorry, it's too excited. Okay, in this round, okay, Amigas is back from the lowest ranking to the top this round, followed by Big Prime. Okay, Big Prime is 35,000, and Amigas is 276,000. Okay, Amigas this round, they have a much better result. Most probably, because last round they don't have good enough product to sell, but maybe they have a good enough raw material. That's why they can make use of the last material, which is lower price, to support the production of this round, which is what I believe only. In terms of the net profit, Amigas is the highest. In terms of the revenue, XTC02 is the highest. But the problem is that you got the highest revenue, which is the good side. If you're running a company, your revenue is high. Of course, this is very, very excellent, very amazing. But the problem is that you have 451,000 lost sales, not sales, the lost profit. So that means the one you sell, the one you lose. Okay, it means the more you sell, the more you lose. So now the problem come to your cost structure, the financial spreadsheets. So please take a look on your own cost structure and see how you can optimize your operation expense, and meanwhile, please try to optimize your revenues in order to improve your profit margin. Okay, so now it's close to 9 p.m. Maybe let's go for the round three first before we come to take a look on the detail of your results. I just want to let you know we will have a free round for the for the workshop tonight, and I will let you take a look of the final result of your net profit based on the last three round results. Okay, so the last three round results, no matter your net profits is good or not in any round of the game tonight, but anyway, you see the final accumulated net profits out of this free round at the end of this workshop. Okay, so so I stop my sharing and let Nettie to count down this 10 minutes. Nettie, thanks. Okay, thank you, Nettie. So please try all your best to optimize your net profit margin. Okay, time's up. So please submit your decision. Now it's time we can see the results together for the round 3. Okay, so group A. Okay, so sorry. Most of you have submitted decision except for 2 teams, Midas and 5-5. So please submit your decision so that we can see the results. Midas has submitted and 5-5, please. 5-5 is from overseas. Okay, if my memory serves me right. Okay, thank you. So let's see, is the result good on? Is your result good or not in this round? Okay, in this round, we can see some new team name in the dashboard. Pinnacle got 313,000, Solution 310,000, 98 213,000, Cell Bow 228,000, Edge 226,000, Champion to 200,000, and Easy Money 170,000, and A1 40,000. So less than half of the team can make net profit in this round, and 10 teams we can see they have negative profit. So for the Pinnacle, their sales looks the highest, and also their net profit is also the highest as well. Okay, sounds very good, very promising. Pinnacle revenue the highest, sales also the highest, and also the net profits is also the highest. Okay, which means they have the better profit margin among the teams in here. Okay, so let's see the other group first. So waiting for one team, XTC01. I think this team is not valid. So XTC01, can you submit your decision? No? Okay, I think this team is wrong. So let me kill this team first. And see the results. Okay, in this group, 6 teams can make net profits, including XTC02, 666,000, BCT002, 435,000. Big Pine, one of, I mean, they have ever been a top net profit team in the last round, and this round, I mean the first round, and this one comes to the rank number 368,000. MBS is the is the highest net profit team in last round, round 2, and in this one they come to the number 4, okay, and followed by XTC03 243,000, Excelsior 160,000, Cheffy they have minus 97,000, and the most big loser in this round is the XTC04. They have 1.9 million net profit. Okay, XTC04, I don't know what's your team name, but think about if you are running a business in the real life with close to 2 million loss in just a 3 months. So what is your feeling and how do you deal with this problem, right? How can you find this 2 million, to pay for all your debt? Okay, this is a big issue. Think about it. Okay, as I mentioned to you, we will see the accumulated net profit in these 2 groups before we come to see the some debriefing. Okay, so I need to close the game for A group. Close. Done. And also the group B. Close. Okay, in the system, that means I tell them that these 2 teams, the result is finalized. So I will come to here and see the dash the A group first. So remember, Nettie told you previously that in the final examination, your final result will be scoring by a number of the KPI. Okay, so in the academy speaking, so it is subject to the balance scorecard. In the balance scorecard, it is measured based on 4 dimensions: internal business process, customer learning growth, and also the financial. Okay, so we will measure your performance based on these 4 dimensions in reality. So now today is just a simple game. So we just simply choose few KPI for fun. Okay, so say net profit. Net profit, because I think in the reality, net profit should be the king, right? We want to make a profit, so we put 50% of the net profit. In terms of the fill rates, that means can you fulfill the need of the market? Let's say 10% market share, 10% equipment expand. I will put it into the revenue growth. Okay, whether your revenue growth is good or not, 10%. For this, I will put the quick ratio. Quick ratio, as you know well, is the ratio between your cash and also your liability. Because I just want to give you more tips. Because in reality, in the game structure, right, if I don't add this quick ratio in, some people will try to borrow the money from bank in order to release the dividend, right? And also in the way that they can optimize their NPV results, net present value result. So in the way, because of this, I literally to add a ratio called quick ratio in order to alert the learner not to borrow the money from bank in order to release the dividends to their shareholders. Okay, and the last but not the least is the net profit margin, 10%. Okay, looks fine to me. And let's see what's the result of this 100% KPI. Okay, so let's take a look from the smaller KPI first. Okay, in terms of net profit margin, quick ratio, okay, it comes to quick ratio, team solution perform the best. And revenue growth, okay, and now can Pinnacle and solution are very tight. Market share, okay, now we see Pinnacle comes to the leading team. But when we put the fill rate back, you can see solution looks perform better than Pinnacle. Pinnacle got 9.9, but solution got 10. Okay, now we see the final result based on the net profits we're in. Okay, in terms of the net profit, obviously, solution performed better than the Pinnacle. Pinnacle got sorry, Pinnacle got 38 points, but solution have 47 points. Okay, this is a result on Group A. Okay, just want to give you have a have a understanding of how the competitions perform in June 1. Okay, so I need to back to the game, and then I will put this game at resume. Okay. Okay, so now back to Group B. So in Group B here, so we take a look on the results for this 15 game. 15, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10. And remember, this one is the net profit margin, quick ratio, revenue growth, market share, fill rate. Okay. Net profit margin, quick ratio. Wow, quick ratio seems Amiga's is the best, and market share, fill rate. Okay, but after the fill rate at RCT 202 obviously is better. And last one is the MPV. Okay, but when MPV back at these two teams, Big Prime and the RCT BCT 02 are these two teams looks like the best. So you can see BCT 83.6 and Big Prime is 81.6. Okay, that is the result of the Group B. Okay, so let me resume this game. Okay, now it's 9:17. In the chat room, I saw some team would like to know how they can see the why they find the cost of goods structure is the it show negative things. Okay, so let me try to show you now. So I'm not sure which team was asking this question, but I saw one team called 55. Maybe I just take a look on this team 55 and see the and take a look of their spreadsheet. Okay, we found 55 here. 55. Look at the payer and then go to the analysis cost structure. Okay, so we receive cost of goods sold and adjustment. Okay, so you can see minus 59,000 on minus 590,000 on here. So before I tell you why this number turned out, can any one of you tell me back why the cost of goods sold, what is the cost of goods sold adjustment? Any team want to express his opinion? Any team want to share? Okay, so no, if no, then I try to explain what does it mean for this cost of goods sold or cost of goods sold structure. Okay, in reality, as you know well, I think most of you are from business school, so you all know well, in the income statement, normally the structure is the revenue minus the cost of goods sold and minus the cost of operation expense and minus the, that is the EBIT, okay, and minus the interest. Interest, it means that if you have loan from bank, then you need to pay for the interest. So this is so-called the EBT. And then now if you are found if a profitable company, then you have to pay for the tax. So after the tax, it is the net profit. And after the COGS, it is the operation profit. Okay, so in here you can see this structure very clear. And actually, this financial statement was used in the management account of the COHK Hong Kong previously. So you can see revenue in here, and if this is all the cost involved in associated with the cost of goods sold. Okay, so so after once the revenue minus the total of the cost of goods sold, this is your gross profit. In gross profit means the operating profit. That's the same. Okay, gross profit means operating profits. The operating profit of this company have 385,000. 385,000. However, they have the operation expense with like 200,000 for the marketing expense. Okay, and also etc. Like no, they don't pay R&D, but they also have some other costs like the administrative and miscellaneous and the warehouse holding costs for the finished goods and raw material, and also they have the loan. So with 83,000. That's all the cost is 1 million. Okay, 1 million. 1 million is quite a high number. Okay, 1 million. It's the cost of the admin expense. Okay, that is the number in this part. 1 million plus 200,000 is 1.2 million. 1.2 million. Am I correct? This is your operation expense, 1.2 million. 1.2 million, but your operation expense is 385,000. So 1.2 million, I will put it this way, $385,126 minus 1.2 million, which is 886,429 negative profits. Okay, this is so-called, as I mentioned to you, EBT. EBT because already minus the I out already, right? If you want to put the I back, it means you pay 83,000. That means it will be even EBIT is here, okay? Because you pay already, okay? But if you don't pay this amount, actually your net profit is 800,000 EBIT, EBIT. But once your interest rate is at, then your net loss is 883,000. Okay, because you lose money, that's why you don't need to pay for tax. Okay, so it means the income tax is 0. That means 886 is the final net profit of your team in this round. Okay, back to the cost structure now. In the cost structure, in the real world, what does it mean for cost of goods sold? Let's say if you are selling a bottle of the orange juices. So apart from the material that you can see from this product, including like the lid, the bottle, the drink inside. Of course, this is all associated with the cost of goods sold. Okay, this is the cost of goods sold. And another terms is the variable cost. Okay, variable cost, I think you all know what is variable cost. But other than that, there's some hidden costs that will be consumed if you are producing more material, one more product. For example, labor cost, okay, okay, like maintenance expense, okay, and in reality, maybe the electricity or maybe the water as well, or water supply as well. So the more you produce the product, and then in your factory, the more you will consume in your financial spreadsheet. So those are the variable costs. So variable cost, cost of goods sold, you can say some is visible and some is the invisible. Okay, so rental, of course, is not the variable cost, because no matter you sell any product or not, you still need to pay for the rental of your factory and your retail, the retail shop. Okay, it's clear. Now it's time we can take a look of what is the cost of goods sold. First of all, cost of goods sold, the material. Material consumption means for those you have, cost of goods sold means the the money that is counts based on the actual sales only, the actual sales. Okay, if you produce the unit, let's say I produce 500,000 units in this shift, in this round, but in reality, I can only sell 300,000. Okay, so this 300, so the cost of goods sold, in this cost of goods sold, the structure, so the cost will only reflect on this 300,000, but not 500,000. Okay, so this one, the concept you need to understand and clear first. And now I can tell you why there's a cost of goods sold adjustment. Okay, think about in the round one, okay, in round zero, because every one of you start from round zero. Okay, in the round zero, so you can take a look on the production logistic. So you can see in the raw material, every team has been given with 1.2 million, 1.2 million, okay, 1.2 million. So think about this 1.2 million is the actual material that you can use to produce the finished goods in round one. Okay, this part is clear. Okay, now let's say I produce 500,000 of units, okay, based on the material of the round zero. Okay, so maybe I will put it this way. This is 1.2 million raw material. Let's say in forget about the number of this one. Let's say now I produce production volume. This part is I produce 1.2 million. Let's say just the raw material is the same conversion rate as the finished goods product in each of your understanding of what I'm talking about, okay? Because if I'm talking about the material conversion rate, 0.6, 0.7, it will be very, very complex and very mess. Okay, let's say the material is 1 unit of the raw material equal to 1 unit of the chocolate. Let's say. Now, if I tell you the 1.2 million raw material unit is the quantity that you can use to produce the product in this round. Okay, this is clear, right? 1.2 million. So let's say in this round, I produce I produce 1.2 million units. I fully utilize this unit to produce the product. Okay, so it means the production volume is 1.2 million in here. But however, the potential demand in here, okay, forget about this number. Okay, forget about this number. Let's say the sales volume, not the sales volume, the production volume is 1.2 million in here. Let's say 1.2 million, but actually the potential demand is 600,000. Okay, for example, it's 600,000. So that means your sales volume is 600,000. Right? 600,000, right? Because you have 1.2 million finished goods and you got 600,000 customer. That means your sales is 600,000. And so that in the spreadsheet, you will see the finished goods inventory have 60,000 left. 60,000 left. Okay, 600,000 left. Sorry, 600,000 left. So being said that, you need to deduct the cost of the raw material from the spreadsheet. So for example, in the material consumption here, because you utilize this 1.2 million raw material to produce 1.2 million of the product. So in first end, in the material consumption, I would say, let's say, and again, it's let's say, okay, let's say the raw material cost is $1, $1. That means the material consumption is 1.2 million. Just make it simple, right? 1.2 million. But in reality, you can only sell 600,000 of the unit to your customer only, with another 600,000 of the finished goods left in your inventory. So in the spreadsheet, you need to deduct this 600,000 of the raw material out from your cost of goods sold spreadsheet. So in here, you will see minus 600,000. Okay, minus 600,000. This is the way that you will find from this game, okay? Because you utilize the previous material to produce the finished goods on this round. So that's why you utilize the raw material, but you also need to deduct the product that you cannot sell in the spreadsheet, okay? In another scenario, let's say if you have a lot of finished goods inventory in last round, okay, you have like maybe 200,000. Now you sell 600,000 units. Okay, as I just mentioned to you, you sell 600,000 in this round, but actually you utilize 200,000 units of the product from the last inventory. Okay, so this 200,000 is being produced in last round already. First of all, you understand, right? It's being produced in the last round already. So in the spreadsheet, you did not produce any product based on your available raw material. Okay, you just utilize the finished goods product from the last one. If that is the case, that means you need to add this cost back to your cost of goods sold adjustment. That means if that's the case, then the cost of goods sold will become 200,000 without the minus, okay, without the 200,000. So that is the reason why you will see the cost of goods sold adjustment is to minus the cost that you don't need to spend on this round, okay. Okay, sorry, this is a minus sign. That means you need to deduct the amount of the product that you did not sell in this round. If you find the cost of goods sold is in positive sign, that means you actually utilize the product from the last round on the sales this round. Okay, that's why you need to add this back on the cost structure. Okay, so are you clear from what I'm telling you?
Yes.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, and just give you a very small tips again in this short session. So all, I think you have to bear in mind how to you, as I mentioned to you, how to you minimize the cost. So all the cost is in your operation expense. Okay, if you're running a company, the real company, you really need to think about any single cents you need to spend on worthwhile. Okay, if you spend on something that cannot bring you return, then this money is that the expense is a waste. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look on operation expense for purchase. Okay, if it has an operation expense for purchase is 177,000, how can I interpret this amount is reasonable or not, or highest or not? Okay, so I would recommend you can take a look of the operation expense for purchase under the glossary in here. For the overview, there's one item called glossary. Okay, if you say operation expense, so you can see in here operating expense for purchase. So there's some statement in here. The statement state that if you procure any raw material from 1 to 500,000, you need to spend 40,000 for your admin cost of your procurement, the expense. Okay, you understand? From one unit, actually should be from 1 to 500,000. If you produce anything between 500,000 1 to 1 million, you need to spend 80,000. And if you want to procure raw material from a million and 1 to 1.5 million, you have to pay 1.2 million. Okay, if I was you, I'm you, of course I will buy the raw material to 500,000 instead of 500,001. Because if I buy 500,001, I need to spend 80,000. But if I buy 500,000, I just submit for 400,000. Okay, so 40,000. That is double. Okay, double the cost. If you amortize the unit onto the number of the raw material you bought, you can find that the average unit cost is much higher if you consume procure raw material with like 500,000 one, or maybe even 550,000, something like that. Okay, so all the time you need to think about how you can optimize the cost. This is one part of the area that you need to think about how can you optimize the cost. So why I tell you it's not below zero, is one. If you take a look on the cost structure in the round zero, there is no operation expense for purchase. Okay, so that means should be zero. Okay, so this time if you didn't buy any raw material, please take a look whether your cost of goods sold structure shows zero or not. If not, please let me know. So to my understanding, this is if you didn't procure any raw material, the operation expense for purchase should be zero. And you can think about this 177,000 if it is zero, because for example, if you have good enough raw material to produce the finished goods product in the coming rounds, that means you don't need to buy raw material. Okay, if you don't need to buy raw material, that means you don't need to pay money at all. If you don't need to pay money, that means you need to save this 177,000. If you save this 107,000 divided by the 271 unit, that means each unit you can save approximately about 60 to 70 cents. Okay, think about if this company can save 70 cents, the total amount of the cost will down from 56 to about 9.8 already immediately. Okay, this is immediately. And now we can see another big issue of this team is the finance. Okay, finance is very high. So if you take a look on finance, so why their finance so high? Because they have 83,000 of the financial expense. Okay, those financial expense is the so-called is the cost. Okay, it's a cost that you need to spend. Okay, so there's a piece of sharing with all of you for the workshop tonight. If you still have any question, I recommend you to send your question in the WhatsApp group, because all of us are in the WhatsApp groups to synchronize all of us together. So if you have any question, please feel free to drop in your question in there. Because tonight, I don't think we have plenty of time to go through every one of your questions. So I think this is good. You can send your question there, or you can PM Michael directly, so that private message me directly so that I can answer your question. Okay, so hopefully you enjoy the workshop tonight. So I pass the time back to Nettie now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michael, sharing. So, before we end today's section, I would like to give you guys some reminders and announcement. First of all, after 3 days, we will have our third workshop, which is on Thursday, 13 of April, and the fourth workshop. And remember, 1st of June is our competition day. And because of we have decided to open self-practice round for you guys, and the free rounds of self-practice is only for participants who have joined the workshop tonight, because we are not going to open a new game for you guys, and the deadline will be at 9 p.m. on Tuesday, tomorrow, and Wednesday at noon. And sorry, should be on 9 p.m. Tuesday and Wednesday 9 p.m. too, and at noon on Thursday. And the result announcement will be in our WhatsApp group. And for the team who do not submit their result on time, and then they will be disqualified from us. Also, please remember to submit your group photos and participation format. If you do not submit the participation format, next time, like the workshop on Thursday, you cannot able to join, and we will need to prepare for the company IDs and passwords. So I wish all of you can fill in the participation format if you want to join. And sorry, I have something to announce too. For the participation format form this time is for the competition day. It's not for the next workshop. For the next workshop participation form, we will send through WhatsApp. And this one is for you to let us know whether you will join our competition online or on site at HKMU. Last but not least, just follow us on our social media and on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. If you want to watch the recording, we will upload on YouTube. And if you are interested to be our members or committee next year, you can fill in a member registration form. And that's all for today's announcement and reminders. And here is the Q&A section. If you want to ask the question through WhatsApp, it's also fine, like what Michael just said. So we will end the Zoom meeting now. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day tomorrow. Bye bye.